Just keep yourselves posted with what we are providing you because we have so much to offer, guys. So stay tuned, and honestly, we have so much to look forward to. starting with Starting with that, we have an idea. Let's have an idea about what art is and why we enjoy art so much. So art is that something that offers a moment frozen in time, right? What you see as beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, astonishing, or nauseating supplies you with a kind of cultural pulse, right? A way to measure your relative metabolism. So, the more things more of us see, hear, sense, read, or even feel as members of a culture, the more broadly are we able to see ourselves in our own light. So, while we gaze at the Mona Lisa or Van Gogh and like in the Louvre Museum or wherever it is, you coincidentally touch base with millions of others, creating a big common moment, a kinship, right? So art is part and parcel of us growing up as people, and this is what drives us towards something beautiful. This is what keeps us in one particular mindset. Like we all gather in a community when it comes to art, whether be it music, whether be it whatever it is, right? It's so beautiful to see art overtaking us, overwhelming us with so much of grace, right? And I love how astonishing art makes us, right? For example, right? So art is something that is practiced. Did you know that? It's confounding, but artists don't drill like athletes do, but in actuality, art and creativity is practiced like sports. So, well, slight differently. So to acquire the technical skills of an art form, sometimes it requires drills, right? So practicing muscle memory, but most of it requires you to just do it. So a soccer player has to play matches, not just do drills. A painter has to paint finished pieces. A dancer has to dance complete pieces. A musician has to play songs and not just practice scales. Similarly, a final art product isn't really all that important, right? That being said, apparently it's not as important, but it is how we feed our opinion into it. It is how we voice the goodness of the art in terms of our own opinions. And if that isn't cool, I don't know what is. So let's get into some interesting facts about Mona Lisa. This is a very strong picture of art that we all enjoy, right? Like we all enjoy art so much solely because the fact that because art is something that enlightens us. It gives us the faith that we require when it comes to the aesthetic factor of it, right? So in this case, right, um see, art, when it comes to Mona Lisa, she was actually called Lisa del Giocondo, born on the 15th of June 1479 and passed in 1542, was an Italian noblewoman and a member of the Gerardini family and in Florence of Tuscany. Okay, and Tuscany. Her name was given to the Mona Lisa, her portrait commissioned by her husband and painted by Da Vinci during the Italian Renaissance, right? So little is known about Lisa's life. Born in Florence and married in her teens, to a cloth and silk merchant who became a local official late onwards. She was a mother of five children and led what is thought to have a comfortable and ordinary middle class life. Lisa outlived her husband, evidently. Although that sounds a little mean. Um, that being said, so what happened was the painting presents a woman in a half body portrait, which has a backdrop of a distant landscape. It's in a three-quarter view, right? The sitter's position towards the viewer broke from the standard profile pose used in Italian art and quickly became the convention for all portraits, right? So the best part of Da Vinci is that he accurately sculptured the softness of Lisa's face, that it showed that he was so skillful when it came to fine shading, also known as sfumato, right? Sfumato, if you're wondering what that word was. It's Sfumato. And it reveals this understanding of the delicates beneath the skin. So, this delicately painted veil, the finely wrought tresses. So, like the tresses, basically, if you do not know, means like the locks of hair. And the careful rendering of folded fabric demonstrates Leonardo's studied observations and crazy patience. Imagine spending years and years of your life drawing and painting something so beautiful and sensational that it would live up to date with so much of praise and craze going on, right? So Mona Lisa is so famous for all the right reasons because Da Vinci captured the sensuous curves of Lisa's hair and clothing, and they echo the shapes of the valleys and the rivers behind her, right? The sense of overall harmony achieved in this painting is emphasized continuously as you look at it. Especially apparent, it's apparent in the sitter's faint smile. See, it's not a wide smile you'd show in a toothpaste advertisement. It's a very faint smile that reflects Leonardo's idea of the link connecting humanity and nature. So it shows a lot of intensity. It shows a lot of complexity, but also the subtle and simpleness of the beauty of women, as well as the nature that backs up against it, right? Making this painting a record of Leonardo's vision. So, Mona Lisa hangs behind the bulletproof glass in the gallery of the Louvre Museum in Paris, where it has been a part of the museum's collection since the 1804. So it was part of the royal collection before becoming the property of the French people during the Revolution. See, what I love about the Mona Lisa is the fact that it became so famous to the point people started having it, like painting it, printing it in every single aspect among them, right? Starting from photo frames to just pieces of art you hang on a wall to whatever it could be, right? So the reason why it's famous and it continues to be famous is because of its inherent appeal. Like I said, art has something in it that prevents it from having one generic opinion. It's always about the multivariate opinions that beautifies the art even further, right? And assuredly, the Louvre Museum will never sell it, right? The museum attracts millions of visitors each year. And fun fact, do you know that this art of Mona Lisa values for $850 million? How crazy is that? After 500 years of being crafted and well kept and just maintained ever so carefully, it is worth for $850 million. And I promise you, and I think, and I'm pretty sure, right? No one would actually sell it in the Louvre Museum because it's that precious and sacred. I mean, it's religiously like walked into and looked at and loved and aspired and praised for its beauty and its glory and the intrinsity of it and the goodness it portrays overall on an overall stream itself, right? So at the same time, so the Louvre Museum gains a steady stream of revenue. Mainly because of the fact that it's a lucrative payment in the long run, right? And also the research on the preventive measures to maintain the portrait rather than on the expensive insurance offers costs so much, guys. Like, imagine maintaining an $850 million art, and it's probably going to cost you an arm and a leg, assuredly, right? And more than an arm and a leg. I'm probably sure about that. Yeah. I don't think I'll be worthy of literally maintaining a piece of art because I know I won't be able to do it because see, with time cracks in the painting starts appearing throughout the whole piece, but they are fine on the hands. But Leonardo managed to, before he passed, to ensure that wherever the crevices appear, he made sure to apply a bit of oil with the color to ensure that it is applied over and over and over again. Thin oil glazes at different times, right? So all cracks are covered, but these have to be continuously done because this is oil on a plank, on paper, essentially, right? And it's the commitment that makes that art even more beautiful and why people praise it so crazily. And the glass protecting the Mona Lisa was replaced with a bulletproof case after so much of chaos that happened in 1956 after several attacks from ones which harmed in 1974 in Tokyo when a museum goer threw a ceramic mug at the painting. Imagine just knowing how amazing that art piece is. You decide to throw a mug at it, thinking, oh, it's another art, and just flick it right at it. And imagine the chaos and the trauma that the people who are protecting must have gone through. See, the beauty of Mona Lisa is that the art aspires a lot of things and it brings out the beauty, the inner beauty of a woman, not just the external aspects of it. When you look into it ever so deeply and intensely, you notice certain soft peaks of, you know, calmness, kindness. At the same time, you see a strong, stout, kind woman who's just full of pride and prosperity. It gives us so many meanings, and this is just my take, right? And I find it so amazing to gaze at, and I would spend years and years gazing at something as such. I promise, because it's just breathtaking. And nowadays, it's available in bath towels, tapestries, umbrellas, and many other household items, bear her image. And that image is reproduced using everything from train tickets to rice plants. It's just everywhere. Hence why I'm saying it's not an overrated art, but it's just pressured, it's treasurable, and also just full of love and effort and commitment and just intensity and mostly passion. So, now that we spoke enough about Mona Lisa, let's move on to a couple of other art pieces that I found fascinating. So stay tuned and enjoy the music. All right. Bye bye. This is Olivia from Kaleidoscope.